I love the idea of thinking about how meditation actually makes real changes in the brain. So one of the things that we experience as menopause comes is a sense of confusion and lack of focus. So as you age, there's a part of the brain in the front of your head called your prefrontal cortex. Your prefrontal cortex is responsible for your planning, your organization, and your attention. And as we age, our prefrontal cortex thins. One of the great things that meditation helps us to do is to actually strengthen the prefrontal cortex. So as you do the practice of meditation, and we can talk in detail about what that entails, but as you're focusing your attention on a single point, you're actually enhancing the activity of your prefrontal cortex and strengthening its ability to maintain attention, to help you organize, to help you plan. So you're really working the part of your brain that's responsible for those skills that it feels like you're beginning to lose. Another way that meditation has significant impact is that it decreases the activity of the amygdala. So the amygdala is the part of your brain that's responsible for the feelings of anxiety, for the sense of stress, for the, rush of panic that can come through you, all of those things that we get. So in menopause, that may be as simple as just feeling more stressed or feeling a little on edge. It may be full-on panic attacks for some people. And that is the result of the interplay of hormones and chemicals on your amygdala.
I just don't want people that was brilliant. And I want to make sure that our listeners really understand what you just said. The amygdala is our fear center, and it's always keeping you safe. And the prefrontal cortex, I look at it like the hope center. It's possibility and helps you achieve goals. And you're moving in and out of these two all the time. So you typically don't operate in both of them at the same time. And I can tell you from personal experience, I have definitely found my amygdala looping and how it just won't shut up. And it wants to tell me all the things that are about to fall apart. I just want to highlight that because that I know so many women are experiencing that. In layperson's terms, that's what is so important about these two parts of the brain.
The amygdala is the thing that makes you feel crazy.
Yes.
The thing that makes you feel overwhelmed by emotional anxiety and constantly on edge looking at what is the danger. It's the thing that generates and creates the worries because you have the sensation of danger attached to a specific thing like your kid driving or the meeting you had or whatever. And then you feel the sensation of anxiety and then the thoughts come and then the anxiety and the thoughts and it loops forward. As it turns out, as we go through menopause and our estrogen and progesterone decrease, estrogen and progesterone can have a very calming effect on the brain and on the amygdala. And as those begin to drain out, their calming effects decrease. We can, however, bring in other tools to calm the brain that aren't just estrogen and progesterone. We can bring in a meditation practice, which then strengthens the prefrontal cortex and calms the amygdala. So it's kind of like the amygdala is the child that's scared and freaking out, and the prefrontal cortex is the parent who can see what's going on and be logical. And in a meditation practice, we're actually strengthening the relationship between the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala. Just like you were saying, they're not both necessarily active at the same time. So when you bring in the prefrontal cortex, you down-regulate and calm that scared little child, the amygdala. You're able to be there, it's okay. And so this practice can really help us shift our neurochemistry and overcome the challenges that happen when we lose some of that great estrogen and progesterone.
Yeah, that was perfectly said.